Mayor, Executive Deputy Mayor, Aldermen, Councillors, Municipal Manager, Directors, officials present, people in the gallery. Welcome to our council meeting. Before I ask somebody to open for us with a prayer, I want to also, when we do pray, that we also keep Councillor Teresa so in our prayers. She had a heart attack on Sunday evening. She's recuperating, and then Councillor Cleophas is currently at the doctor. He's also very ill, and then we also have Councillor Scholes that has an official leave of absence, also with regards to personal safety matters. So, without further ado, can I ask him that the Chief Whip of Council open for us the meeting? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Vader, ons sê vir baie dankie Here vir hierdie geleentheid waar ons vanmiddag na U toe kan kom om vir baie dankie te sê vir hierdie dag. Dankie Here dat U ons geseën het. Dankie dat U ons Here onder U kosbare bloed hou. Here, ek wil bid spesifiek Here vir councillors wat vanmiddag nie kan wees nie, geween van siektes. Here, wil ek bid dat U vanmiddag saam met hulle sal wees, dat U hulle sal beskerm onder die kosbare bloed, Here. Here, baie dankie dat ons vandag Here hier eendragtig is, Here, om die belange van Saldanha by Municipality Here op die hart te dra, en ek wil bid dat U ons sal seën. Dankie Here vir elke kollega wat hier is, Here. Dankie vir elkeen wat vandag in hierdie teenwoordigheid is, dat U hulle sal seën. En dankie Here ook vir die mildelike reën, Here, wat U die afgelope tyd vir ons gegee het. En ons sê ook Here, dankie vir hierdie getuisderde gebiede waar U U hand in hulle weer eens sal openbaar. Seën hierdie dag en ek bid dit in Jesus naam. Amen.
Thank you, Whip of Council. Before we start with the official business, can I get the safety official to come and present the safety measures? Director Mbaliswana, I think the sound is off in the gallery, so the ICT department is still busy working it out. Director Mbaliswana, can you prepare the safety, just announce the safety precautions? Thank you. Thank you, Director. ICT, can you give an indication whether the sound is working in the gallery yet? Councillors, to allow people that has visited in the gallery to be able to follow us in the meeting, we will now have a short recess of 5 minutes for ICT to try and solve the problem. IT?
Speaker, I just want to ask a question related to
I want to say also welcome to the interpreter on our left-hand side next to Director Polsking. Welcome, sir. Then official announcements. The Executive Mayor has an announcement, and then the Chief Whip of the ANC has a written approval for an announcement that he wants to make. Executive Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, before I make an announcement, let me speak to my colleagues from the ANC. Please carry over Council's best wishes to our councillor that's in hospital and tell her we pray for her speedy recovery. Madam Speaker, it's indeed shocking when we see how easy serious sickness can knock at our door. On a lighter note, ma'am, I would like to announce that Saldanha Bay Municipality has once again made history. In the past, we've had plenty Springbok rugby players, and other sports where we've had national representation. Madam Speaker, but this time around we've got an Olympian gold medal in our area. And I, on behalf of Council, would like to congratulate Shilton van Wyk, a boykie from Deersville, that has come through the lower ranks, that's come through the coaches of the local. Is there another mic on, Madam Speaker? There's a thing of a feedback here. Okay, I'll carry on. It doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother the people in the gallery. But I want to pay tribute not only to Shilton van Wyk, Madam Speaker, I also would like to pay tribute to the educators, to the voluntary coaches in our area. And indeed in 2018 in the Saldanha Rugby Club, in the Super 8 tournament that was held in Saldanha Bay, he was first noticed by the spotters. That spotted his talent, and then he made his rapid way up. Madam Speaker, I want to wrap it up. I watched the game where we nearly beat the French, where we helped them to a 0-0 score to half-time. And the reason why they won a 0-0 score was that amazing chase back by Shilton that chased the guy down, tackled him and put him down. That was indeed brave play where David really came up against Goliath. So on behalf of our council, we would like to welcome him back, and we would like to congratulate him, his parents, and all the people that's been involved in his success. It's truly an honor for Saldanha Bay Municipality. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Chief Whip of the ANC.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, really we are experiencing many challenges of sickness, and in my life I was never enjoyed this period of recess that we came from. I was too sick, colleagues. One day I thought that no, maybe my day is already around the corner. But by the grace of God, I'm still alive, which is I'm very much happy about that. And also wish speed recovery for all of colleagues who are not here with us because of that particular challenge that we are sitting with. Colleagues, once again, I want to thank about our officials on a day of 18th of July, when Ward 1, specific in Middelbos, we experienced the challenges of disaster that were there in Middelbos, and 5 houses were taken away by wind, and 11 families also were without a roof and everything. But what made me very happy is that when we do our conduct and we receive quickly response from our municipality, whatever reason that need to be looked at firstly, but at least we manage to make sure the people of Saldanha get an assistance in that particular day. This is what we preach each and every day. Colleagues, I used to say that God was never created only Mandela to do things in this country, but all of us were the Mandela of the day. The only thing that we need to do is just to take action of whatever we experience. So I'm very much happy about that day, and we thank all the officials that we never spend a night. People come and deliver, and the other people that I cannot left behind, Speaker, is the ward committee members of Ward 1 and the community leaders in that particular day were there at Langaban with elderly people, but I get a call when I'm arrived at Middelbos, all the necessary information was already collected by the leaders and the ward committee members, and captured all the particular information that need to be looked at in order for us to assist the people. I'm very much proud of that. And the other people that I cannot left behind is the Sea Harvest Foundation. We received 25 blankets, 25 mattresses, and a truckload of pellets so that people they can do their structures again. So we are very much proud of those particular people who played a big role in that particular day. The only thing that, Speaker, I think we left with is that we need to do a speed look at the issue of formalizing those particular area. If you remember, we did start the process last, And then because of the load shedding in that particular day, we end up not to proceed with the meeting of that day. So in order for us to change the people's lives. So I'm very much happy about that, colleagues. All of you that will play a big role, and those people who are not with us but doing whatever they've done. So if the people of Queen's Post to be assisted, we are very much proud of you, colleagues. I thank you.
Thank you, Chief Whip. And a round of applause to our officials for the showing Ubuntu of why we are appointed at all. Councillor Kotze, you want to add something?
No, I just wanted to make sure, Mayor, I think we won a bronze medal and not a gold medal. I was almost concerned that I've missed the same game.
That's correct.
I said a medal. Maybe I was thinking of the 2 medals that we've won since that with Tatiana, and the 2 that we've won in the swimming pool, 1 today. So it is a precious medal. Ma'am, if I said gold, maybe I was speaking my dreams and my wishes for our team.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. Even a bronze is history. It's an Olympian medal. It's every 4 years, and I think that it's well deserved and good to be honoured about it. Thank you, councillors. Leave of absence. I have formal leave of absence of Councillor Scholz, Councillor Teresa Rousseau, and Councillor Gerald Klufas. Councillors, you will also note that there is a vacant seat in the good seats. The vacancy has been declared by Good Party for Alderman Ventura that has vacated the seat. The IEC will in time inform the MEO and my office of the replacement. Thank you. Councillors, then I add confirmation of the minutes of the council meeting of the 13th of June. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Thank you, Chief of the DA proposed. Secondment? Thank you, Councillor Schrader. I seconded. Thank you. Then declaration of interest with regards to matters for this agenda. None? Thank you. Councillors, then I'm at item 6/7. Item 6, item 7, item 8, and item 9 is all the supply chain, 6, 7, and 8 is all supply chain deviations reports that must be tabled in council for notification. Is there any questions for clarity to be raised on that item? I note the hand of Councillor Jackson, then the Chief Whip of Good, Councillor Bidfoot, Councillor Williams will speak on behalf of Good, Councillor Jackson, and then Councillor Lawani. Councillor Jackson.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, Executive Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Directors, and all other councillors, as well as our viewers at home and also I think in the gallery today. Speaker, just for a point of clarity, with regards to item 6, page 13, I'm referring to orders 73033, then 73231, then 73232. I've noted that all of these orders the money is being paid for these orders are exactly the same. I just wanted to know, are we paying for exactly the same service? Is that a typo error, or was this for services delivered on 3 different occasions? And then also at the same time, just some clarity on what is meant by copied charges. Okay? And then I'm going to move on to item 7. I find that on both the April and the May deviations, we see that there was work done by African Water Utilities. On page 7, there's an indication made that for April, 104,552 rand, and then also on page 30 in May, an amount of 164,992 rand 80 cents. In the report, both of these 2 services rendered by this company seems to have been for the same thing. So the clarity I'd like to make is, was the issue with the water persistent for more than 1 month? Okay. And then moving on to item number 8. I just need some clarity with regards to why is it that the same agency fee for Club Mykonos appears in both reports for May and for June. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Councillor Williams.
Speaker, good afternoon everyone. Speaker, my eerste vraag was nou sopas gevra deur my collega in verband met Sky Metro equipment.
My question was already been asked by my colleague, but I will carry on.
Speaker, bladsy 18,
Page 18,
Bancor.
Bangkok.
I would just like to know, Speaker, is Bancor the only company that is currently working? Because there's a lot of work done by Bancor, and the amounts is for me worrying. So I would just like to know that why did we always make use of Bancor? Where is the other companies that is also on our list? That is the one. The other one, Speaker, page 22 on the same item, arena holding placement. There was a placement in the Sunday Times, 7 April 2024, of 24,000 rand. Is that correct? For a placement in a newspaper?
Edward.
Yes, it was an advert, yes. And then, Speaker, item 7, page 30, once again, the same question, Bancor. The same jobs that has been done by other companies, the amounts is very much lower than the ones of Bancor. So that is our concern, Speaker, that Bancor is charging us a lot of money, while other companies that are doing similar jobs is invoicing much lower. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. The third hand, it was Chief Whip of the ANC.
Madam Speaker, I think we have got a similar questions because mine is there at page 16.
Chief Whip of the ANC.
Oh, sorry, Speaker. Mine also, Speaker, if you can check there at an extra A, which is number 16. If you check there, in St. Helena Bay, you will find out the order number is 72846 to 72853. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, if you check the dates and everything there, and then it says supply and deliver diesel for UD Questa sewer truck CFG 31404.
Diesel.
Now,
Right.
if you check those numbers of the diesel, the same date and the amounts, I just try to account that amount, only these 6, you will find out it's 23,000. So I just want to understand, does this truck spend almost 23,000 only one day? Because if you check the dates, but it's not only this one, it's only this one that I just counted, but many are looking the same. Even if you can check here, Speaker, also, I just need a clarity on this name. What does this mean? Number 22, an extra 6. There is something saying there in terms of this advert. Reason why the correct number of quotations not received. It says council decision. So just need a clarity on that one. What does that mean? If yes.
Chief Whip up good, and then the administration will respond. Thank you.
Madam Speaker,
Good afternoon,
all
Speaker.
councillors. My pleidooi is net. As jy kyk die uitgawes
As you look at the expenses
op Bancor,
of Bangkok,
is daar nie 'n oplossing dat ons ons eie tyreafdeling by die workshop?
is there no solution that we have our own tire workshop?
Dan as jy wil kyk na die uitgawes en die ander probleem wat ons optel,
As you take to the expenses, and another problem that we see,
is die masjien wat op die landfill side werk.
the machine in the land site
Kan hy masjien nie eysterwiele hê, jy moet hy 'n tyrewiele hê.
can that not have an iron wheels? It must be a tire.
Dis van goed se kant af. As dit kom by die armes van die armes, is daar 'n klomp verskonings.
The poor of the poor, there are lots of excuses.
Maar as jy kyk na die uitgawes binne die binne die supply chain report.
You look at the supply chain report, there are many expenses.
Daar word daar twee herstelwerke gedoen.
There's
Binne
2
een dag.
repairs were done on one day.
Soos die pleidooi van Goed se kant af, dat daar 'n ondersoek ingestel word en 'n verslag voor die raad kom, dat ons ons eie tyre afdeling by die
The good
workshop.
you request that we must make an investigation so that we can make our own tires by ourselves.
Thank you.
Ik dank u.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Who will respond? The CFO. Stefan, you must start. I hope the directors has written down.
Okay, Speaker, thank you. Now, there's quite a lot of questions. I've tried to keep up, but I've missed one or two. I'm sure Amanda will, when she do the minutes, she will have the detail. So if I missed anyone, Speaker, I can respond in writing to all the councillors if need be. So Sky Metro, that's a rental contract. So yeah, it's for copy papers, so it's photocopies. It's one of Cornell's tenders. I think the reason that it's a deviation is because the term has expired. Is that correct? Yeah. So it was a 3-year tender, and because we needed the machines to keep on working, we did not stop the contract immediately. But because it's now out of the 3 years, it's a deviation to procure the same service. So that amount, that fixed amount, is part of the previous tender amount. The one for Club Mykonos. So Club Mykonos, we have a bulk meter, and so they pay us for the bulk consumption, and then inside they go and read all the individual units. So we pay them for that service, in a sense, to do that. At one point in time, they wanted us to read all the units ourselves, but we are happy to pay them that amount. It's not a big amount. Bandcorp, according to our system, there needs to be a rotation, so you cannot use the same service provider for that service. Now, our system is set up that it automatically rotates, so I can just investigate why Bandcorp is used so often as per this report. In the past, we've utilized a tender in recent times, so I'm not sure why are we not using the tender for that type of services. So I can investigate that also. Okay, Media 24. So that placement was for the director, the new director, electronic technical services, and that's the cost that Media 24 charged the municipality. And as Speaker, let me hear the report afterwards in a minute here. I will respond.
Can you help you with the diesel?
Yeah, sorry, the diesel also, diesel, so this is orders. So the same amount will be issue the same value order. Because that means in the Yerebai area, we use that total station there. So the actual cost, supply chain will issue an order for 30,000 rand. So it will always be 30,000. And that's coming back for the value for the order. Then the actual payment is made, we then have a look to see what the actual quantity is consumed. The rand value of the petrol per litre, and that's fixed. We will know.
Africa Water Utility. I made notes of everything.
Africa Water Utility, I don't know people, so I'm looking for
Die MM se hand was op, hy gaan antwoord.
Thank you, Speaker. Maybe just to add to Bandcorp. Bandcorp, we are following a rotational system with regard to our equipment centers. Bandcorp is one of the few organizations that does call-outs for the larger the larger equipment like as you can see next to Bangkok, all of those big trucks and stuff, they're one of the few. But we will investigate and come back to you as to what you suggested, and we will speak to the guys and give us a report as you requested.
Thank you. Did we miss something? I think we answered all the ones that not answered. With regards to the water utility ones. CFO, I think you need to go back to the department. I know that you only prepare the report. All the things happens in other departments. So I'm not sure who's the directorate that used asked for a deviation. That was this. The printing thing is with Cornell. Maybe you should just explain why we have to use it and why the tender lapsed and why was it not in time replaced. And then the one who uses the Africa water, can one of the directors just indicate which directorate it was? Gerrit will respond. The diesel will probably in the next few years go away because we're building was now that sewerage line and pump station, whatever is going to happen there. Cornel, can you please respond, and Gerrit, will you respond on the water? Thank you.
In terms of the Sky Metro contract, these are lease machines. I opened the requisitions that the person orders on the requisition. It says for lease. So I don't know why it summarizes profit charges only. It is a bid that the council awarded. Unfortunately, the machines last out 5 years. We don't have a guarantee that they're going to last that long, so it's always difficult to determine the term of that tender. Obviously, there's nobody else that can service those machines. It belongs to a specific contracting party. Subsequently to that, there was a second tender, so it's not that it wasn't in time, because it was to indicate. We will be replacing those prime metro machines now in this financial year by new lease. So they're now up for renewal in terms of the asset lifetime for the time that they're running. We have asked previously whether we cannot do it for a longer term, but we have had many machines that don't last 5 years. It's very difficult to do that. We sit with a contract with machines that are no longer operating.
Thank you, Director. Director Smith. Thank you, Director. Councillor Vragam, your hand was up.
Thank you, Speaker. The MM was responding to the questions, but there was a recommendation also from the WOP of Good
Yes.
in terms of looking into getting our own place where we can sort out our tires. So you believe there is that? I don't know.
This will be included in the minutes because the MM said we must investigate if it's the probability and if it's cost effective. Thank you, councillors. With all that inputs received, can I have a proposal and a secondment for accepting and note these reports? Councillor Mamapola has proposed. Apologies, Councillor Kotsai, not your hand to second, Chief Whip.
Speaker, I didn't get a response on the question that raised the issue of reasons why the correct number of quotations not received, and then it says a council decision. So, or else this one also will be the one that will be responded in writing.
Oh, okay.
So if that one also...
Upi page 16. 22.
Yes.
Number 6, is that right?
Yes. So even the number 16, where the CFO responded,
Yes.
I didn't get his answer, Speaker, and I don't want to do any follow-ups. I would rather agree that
In
He
writing.
must give us in writing so that we can look at the response. Because if you look this thing and then you talk about whatever is, because if you look now, it sounds like one truck spent almost 23,000 a day. So that's why we say we need that thing in writing so that we can see what is saying and compare to what is written here. It's not only that one, as I've said, there are many. Even when the issue of colleagues talk about, you will find out the generator fix only the exhaust, they charge 9,000 for exhaust, and then you will check the bike NP300, they charge 3,000 for the puncher, but you will find out the digger loader is 2,000 some odds. So this is where it's, I think his return report will assist us so that we can see how to respond.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Councillor Kutsa, have you seconded?
Yes, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Kutsa. Just before we conclude on these items, administration, you will send the CFO all the questions raised in writing so that they can draft a report to send to full council. Thank you. Councillor Kutsa.
No, Madam Speaker, I just wanted to comment on that. Normally, during the portfolio, these were not submitted to the portfolio. There's an explanation where everything has gone to what extent. We have now in the portfolio decided that it's very tiresome and very detailed. The committee decided on that we're going to lessen that, but you know, all those explanations are normally there. Unfortunately, this has not gone through portfolio. That's why these answers are not upfront.
Your point of order, Chief Whip.
This item is here in the council meeting. It was never said that it was discussed there, then therefore it must end then. So my colleagues must just give us chance to discuss this report because it is here at our agenda also in the council meeting. So he must not worry about the portfolio committee whatsoever. This thing is here in the agenda.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Just, Councillor Kutsa, the reason why the report is in here, this is one of the requirements in the MFMA, that all deviations must be tabled at the next council meeting, and that's why it's here. Sometimes it happens that it will come to a portfolio because it's within the cycle. Chief Whip of Good. Can I go to item 9?
Speaker, item 6, 7. 6, 7 and 8.
Yes.
Good, don't support that 3 items. You must note that.
Administration, please note that the Good Party has noted that they don't support to note this report in council. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. And then we add item 8. Sorry, item 9, the annual oversight report of the supply chain. Any questions for clarity before I ask for approval? Councillor Jackson.
Speaker, I'd like to refer to page 55. Page 55 clearly indicates that there has been 8 tenders that were cancelled. Okay? So my concern, may I add, by the bid adjudication committee. Okay, I just like to raise the NCC's concern with regards to this. Why are these kind of reports also not being tabled at the oversight committee? Because surely when we advertise these tenders, we have to pay for the advertisement thereof. However, once it's cancelled, who is then, is it not being considered wasteful and fruitless expenditure? Surely that is something that has to come to the oversight committee as well, because the cancellation of those tenders has already been advertised, and now we're cancelling it after it's been advertised. So the concern again is that reports such as that is not coming to the oversight committee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. Any other questions for clarity and input? The EFF, Councillor Luando, and then the Executive Mayor.
Good day, Madam Speaker. Good day, colleagues. Madam Speaker, I have a question. Actually, it's not a question. I need a clarity on page 52, 3.2.1. Value of project created I need a clarity there because of I see it shows here the number is decreasing or the amount is decreasing. I just want to know, instead of increasing, why is decreasing? I need a clarity of that. Yes, I think, yeah. I'm not sure if you get it.
Yes, it's fine, Councillor, we understand the question. Administration will respond. Executive Mayor and then Councillor Mbane.
Madam Speaker, I just would like to thank the supply chain department. Last year I brought a motion to council, which council passed after the legislation changed. And I noticed that on the vendor registration that we've had an increase of 416 West Coast suppliers, and in Saldanha alone we've had an increase of 164 suppliers. So our sincere thanks. We like it when it comes to local. Thank you, ma'am.
Councillor Mbane.
Nkosi, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Ndibulise Mayor, Deputy.
I greet the Mayor and the Deputy.
Now Speaker and officials, and colleagues.
And officials and my colleagues and the people who joined us today.
Madam Speaker, ndifuna uqonda ku 369.
I want to know about 369, Madam Speaker.
Yes, ku bullet point 3.
Bullet point 3.
Madam Speaker, bullet point 3 uthi lokuba ngabanibana ngokokujonga kwam.
Bullet point 3 is saying
kwi 309 eyakhiwayo eLenville.
309 that has been built in Lenville.
Phase 3.
Phase 3
angaqhubekeka.
Can continue. When?
Funds zingafumaneka.
When funds can be recovered.
Ngokolwazi kwam ndicinga
Councillor, apologies, man. Sorry, man. You're on the wrong item. That's right. We're now on item 9. I will allow you when we get to that item. Is that right?
Okay, no problem.
Thank you. Will the CFO respond on the question raised? Thank you.
Speaker, the first question raised, so there were 8 payments cancelled, and is that not wasted expenditure? So when a tender is cancelled, there's a specific reason. In our supply chain policy, there's a list of reasons when we can cancel a tender. And when you cancel a tender, there's not the whole process that was followed. And every time we cancel a tender, we need to consider if it's previous and wasted expenditure. So when you advertise a tender, it costs you about 10, 11, 12,000 rand. So if it adhered to the definition of fruitless and wasteful expenditure, which is expenditure made in vain, and has been avoided at reasonable care been taken. So if you tick that box, then that report will come to the impact, where the impact must investigate whether this in fact was fruitless and wasteful expenditure and must it be recovered from the responsible official. So that's very much the case. So that's the other question relates to the value of the projects created. Now, if you look at that page on page 53, so the most important one is the value of the orders created, which is 374 million last year, and then the year before that it was 335 million. So there's an increase of 39 million. Now, the value of projects created is more an administrative tool that we use, because we don't want to issue orders every month. So then on the system, you then create a project and you can do certain projects on the system direct. So for council purposes, look at value of orders, because the projects is in a sense already in there. So you'll see there's an increase in the projects, in the value of the orders created. And then if you look later on the capital expenditure, you see there's an increase in capital expenditure as opposed to last year, and that's explained by the increase in the value of the orders issued.
Thank you, CFO. No further questions? Thank you. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Proposed by Councillor America and seconded by Councillor Schippers. Thank you. Councillors, then I am at item... Apologies, Chief Hope, I didn't note your hand.
I will have you noted that the good party don't support this.
Okay. Councillors, this is a compliance item. We will have to vote on this item. Can everybody in favour to approve the annual supply chain report? In favour of to adopt? Thank you. Against the approval of the report? Against? Please raise your hand. Councillor Mbani, is your hand up?
Yes.
That's all right. Administration totals? Twelve in favour and 9 against. The item is then approved. Thank you. Councillors, then I'm at item 10, the key deadlines for the IDP and budget process for 2025-26. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? This is a compliance item just to establish the dates. Thank you, Executive Deputy Mayor. Secondment. Thank you, Councillor Mamabolo. Item is unanimously adopted. Then we add item 11, Section 52D reports. Any questions for clarification, because this report only needs to be noted? Councillor Jackson.
Speaker, I just want to make sure that I'm on the right page. We are at item 11, eh?
Is that right?
The quarterly financial report. Okay, Speaker, I have quite a lot of points that I'd like to raise with regards to this item and also the concerns which NCC has with regards to this item. I've noted that on page 89, a lot is being spent on overtime. Yet when we try and get call-outs after hours, it's a headache sometimes. Sometimes the call-out, the standby guys don't want to come out. So I'd like to propose that council maybe has a look at the policy so that we can address this issue, because when it's standby, it's a bit of an issue. So we're still paying for that service to be rendered, yet we have an issue when we need standby to be there. Okay? And then on page 92, I find that the number of meters in comparison to the number of accounts is a bit more. So what I'm trying to figure out is, how do we have so many accounts yet less meters than accounts? How are the properties without water meters being built if it is that there's more accounts than water meters? Okay? And then with regards to page 92, how is it
Page, sorry?
92, Speaker.
Still the 92.
Yes,
Okay.
Speaker.
So that
How is it that there was more rates clearance issued? To be specific, there was 296, when there was only a request received of 288. Okay? And then moving on to page 97. Am I too fast? Should I slow down, Speaker?
that's all right. You can continue.
So now I'm on page 97. It is evident that not all the accounts that is yet to be finalized is reflected over there. I would please like to make a reference to an account which is not there. That would be account number 130-11200. I am certain that that is an account yet to be dealt with, yet I find that this account does not reflect in this report. Is there a reason that not all accounts reflect on here? Okay? And then also I'd like to note that I had a resident that has an account that is yet to be finalized. And in the latest statement, Speaker, the lawyer's fees reflected there. So it specifically said, for example, I see Madeleine in front of me, so I'm going to use it as an example. So it specifically says Madeleine Inc.'s legal fees, and it amounted almost, there was 2 such rows, and it amounted to almost 20,000 rand. I cannot find that this is correct, Speaker, because the court has not made any cost orders, yet this is reflecting on the residence bill. Speaker, I'll just check further if there's any other notes that I've made. Oh, and the reflection of that legal fees also refers back to the same account that I've just noted, Speaker. So with that being said, and all the inconsistencies and the lack of transparency in this report, the NCC is not going to support this report, Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Jackson. Any other questions for clarity? Councillor Witbooi.
Speaker, the Good Party must know what die report is. As jy gaan kyk die shortfall binne die capital budget.
You can look at the shortfall in the capital budget.
Hoekom kan ons hier projekte begin, EPWP projekte begin waar ons
Why can we not start with the EPW project?
en hy fondse gebruik? Is nie die herstel van paaie, lê van curbs, lê van stormwater.
And use the funds for reconstruction of roads?
No, you can continue. I wanted him to translate finish. Is he klaar?
Oh.
Okay. Thank you. No other comments or questions for clarity? Councillor Vragel.
Speaker, I want to just do the top 20 accounts.
Debtors or creditors? Debtors or creditors?
Debtors. Speaker, I have checked the amounts of these accounts that's on the top 20. I want to use the first one quickly, Speaker. If you go back to last year's one, you'll see that 61107,077. The outstanding amount was 2.8. If you look at this year, it's 3.3. Now I want to know how come this stuff escalates and we don't do anything about it? The reasons that I see there, it's unacceptable for us. So and then I can go down the list that I'm not going to speak a lot about, because I see that it's like the stuff is just hanging there, and it's legal and it's external. We've got external attorneys that I see do nothing, but we pay these external attorneys. So I just want, on that top 20 accounts, I want to know, why do we allow stuff like that? If our people are 500 rand in arrears, then we cut their services. But we allow these people with millions in arrears. And then we've got all the reasons there. Why these people, why we can't collect this money. So I want to know, who are we going to keep accountable for that? For the fact that we don't get this money. Somehow we need to keep people accountable, because we don't get this money. We need to get this money. And again I say, 500 rand, 300 rand, our people get half electricity. I'm talking about 2.3 million rand, 3.3 million rand in arrears. It's unacceptable for us, Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Vragel. CFO, will you respond, please?
Mr. Speaker, let me start at the last question. So that number 1 of our top 20 outstanding accounts. Question is, it's still here. Last year it was there, so there was an increase of, let's say, R500,000 rand. So why do we continue? They owe us more than 3 million rand. So that increases interest. So we don't provide services anymore. And to get the money from them is a lengthy legal process. They have been handed over. We're currently looking into that matter. There might be a settlement coming soon. Yeah, that's the answer on that one. Okay, going to the overtime. So overtime, yes, it's a lot of money being spent to make sure that our service delivery are up there. So for me, accountant, I don't want to see so much money being spent on overtime. Personally, I will want to ask the municipality to reduce their service level so that we don't have to pay so much. But all those call-outs, everyone is on call-outs. As soon as a pipe burst occurs, they go out. So I'm not in the service department, but what I hear is that's the case. A lot of people are being paid overtime to make sure that our service standard is up there. Okay, in terms of that one reconciliation, paragraph 7.8, maybe you can just put that on the screen. So this reconciliation has been done for many years. It's like the last 10 years. So a lot of effort are being put into this table to make sure that this is useful information to the council and also the readers of this report. Now, if you look at the number of accounts, just over 46,000. So every month we send out 46,205 accounts. So why are there only 40,000 properties? Is that inconsistency? No, because remember, there's tenant accounts. So you will have 2 accounts for 1 property. And then also the question, what about the water meters? You only have 30,000 water meters, but you have 46,000 accounts. So there's a lot of vacant urban, and not all properties have water meters. That's just the reality. This is the statistical information that comes from the system. There's no inconsistencies, just the hard data out of the system. And also then the other question, so number of rate clearance requests received during the month. Remember this report is for the month or for the quarter. And the number of rates clearance issued, 296. So how can you issue more than what you received? It's timing. So the previous period we might have received more, but because of the timing difference, because this is a very specific time period that we report on. It's just what happened during that time period. In terms of the lawyer fees, 20,000 rand being added to account. So that's how our tariffs are approved by council. As soon as there are legal fees, because a person does not pay his or her account, we add those legal fees to the account. So as soon as we get an account from the lawyers, we just add that to the account. We pass that cost to the consumer that does not pay his or her account.
Thank you, CFO. I had a proposal, Executive Mayor. Propose, thank you. Secondman, please. Thank you. Is there any vote against to accept and note the report? Councillor Jackson? Oh yeah, you did. The NCC has indicated they won't approve. Chief of Good? Good won't approve.
We don't support.
Thank you. Councillor Vrago?
As well.
Thank you. Councillor Mbane?
Disagree.
Councillor Kotze?
Madam Speaker, I'm in support, but with certain questions about the validity and correctness of some of the items.
Thank you, Councillor Kotze. Then administration, please note that the report has been accepted, and the Good Party, the CCC and the ANC has voted against the notification of the report and acceptance by council. And the PA, apologies, thank you.
What about the EFF, Speaker?
The EFF is in agreement, I assume they didn't raise their hand. The EFF against the approval, thank you. What happened to Luwani? Councillors, then I'm at item 12, the SBM report for the MM and the directors. Any questions for clarities before we note the report? Nothing, thank you. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? Thank you. The Executive Mayor proposed, the Executive Deputy Mayor second. Thank you. Then we add items 13 and 14 is the Petition Committee and the Protection Committee that we workshopped in the month of April. Now it's here just to accept, but I will request, can we handle the presentation on the committees in item 60, if that's fine with the councillors? Can we accept the amended policies of items 13 and 14 because it was workshop with full council? There's only a few changes. Proposal by the Mayor, seconded by the whip of council. Thank you, councillors. Unanimously accepted. Thank you. Then I am at item 15. Representation on the Committee of Councillors. Where's the whip of council? Can you please read it out, or will you submit afterwards to the administration? The Chief Whip of Good did inform me that Councillor Pretorius will take up the portfolio committee position of previous Councillor Don, and she will also be the secundi of the Salga working group that Councillor Ventura attended. Am I right? Then the vacancy that is there for the portfolio committee of Councillor Ventura will be filled with a newly incoming Councillor of Good, whose name we don't have, but I want administration just to say that it will be a good seat with a new councillor that will come in. That is the vacancies of the good councillor that was on the portfolio committee and the Salga committee. Thank you. Whip of council.
Madam Speaker, can I get na the meeting submit?
You have to read it out here. Okay. Chief of Mama Bola, you want to read it out?
Don't sleep.
I'm not sleeping, miss. Thank you very much. The addition petition committee is whip of council, myself. Then the good chief whip will be there. The ANC chief whip will be there.
Okay.
The DA chief whip will be there, and then Councillor Jackson, the NCC will be the secundi. The addition councillor protection committee, myself, whip of council, the chief whip of good, the chief whip of the ANC, the chief whip of the DA, and Councillor Jackson will be the NCC presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Councillor Kutsa.
Madam Speaker, I just need to point out, and I have raised it at the last portfolio meeting, that on the portfolio of finance, the councillor from the ANC...
Apologies, Councillor. Can we have one meeting? Thank you. You may continue, Councillor Kutsa.
The representative of the ANC on that portfolio committee, I've discussed it with the ANC, and specifically with Councillor Rousseau. She said she's replaced her because I made mention that the councillor is not there all the time, or she's been absent quite a few times. I did forward that, or address it through the administration at the meeting. I don't know if there's clarity on that. Who is actually representative? Because according to Councillor Teresa Rousseau, she said the agreement was that she would become the representative and replace the ANC.
Thank you, Councillor Kutsa. Administration, if I'm correct, we received a list from the chief whips of the parties to say this is the following in writing, and it was forwarded to your office. Am I right? Thank you. Chief Whip, can you confirm who's the representative of finance is the person that is currently there indicated?
Speaker, we agree that we will forward the names accordingly so that we can follow that one in writing.
Thank you, Chief Whip. Then the Democratic Alliance has also sent a notice to say that Councillor Vampire America will be removed from the Landfill Site Committee, and Councillor Kotze will take his place on the Landfill Site Committee. Is that correct? Thank you. Administration, do you have that? Thank you, Councillor. Proposal and a secondment for that. Thank you. The ANC will send us a revised list if they want to change any of their members. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Then I am at item 16, the appointment of the audit committee member. And Aaron, thank you. I see that you did listen to my request that we must complete the compliance process. Can I have a proposal and a secondment? The executive mayor has proposed and the deputy mayor has seconded. No questions for clarity. Thank you. Item unanimously accepted. Then we're at item 17/7, the Desert Wolf motorbike rally. Kom ons gaan bike ry. Can I have a proposal for the item? Thank you. Executive Mayor and the Deputy Mayor. This is tourism being brought to our town. Unanimously accepted. Councillor Kotze, are you voting against the Desert Wolves? You want to go for a bike ride? They do have rides on the airstrip also.
I do have my license, thank you. Madam Speaker, no,
Oh, you have a motorbike license?
Yeah.
Can you come to the council meeting on your motorbike license?
Madam Speaker, yeah. I had a discussion with the mayor yesterday, and one of the issues that came out is that in future that we also at the new budget budget cycle that we should consider looking at a tariff specifically addressing events where they book out the entire facility with certain reservations, obviously. So we obviously support this. It's a good injection for the municipal area and for council and for the business in that region. But that we should look from finance point of view to have this. Otherwise, it has to come back to council all the time. For these decisions. Not that it's wrong, but we just have to consider that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kotze, Portfolio Chair of Finance. Indeed, when we do our next round of policy amendments, it should be included in the policy. Thank you. And be addressed there. Then we add item 18. Section 116 report. Proposal and a secondment, please. I have a proposal from the Deputy Mayor and a secondment from Councillor Mapolo. Then we add item 19. Item 19. This is an item that could not be dealt with for the Executive Mayor. It must now be referred to a committee of council. Can I have a proposal and a second? The Alderman Vaughan has proposed and Councillor Mapolo has seconded. Thank you. Unanimously accepted. Then I'm at item 20, the section 116 for the landfill site to be compliant. Proposal. Thank you, Executive Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillor Mapolo. Then I'm at item 21, the landfill 309. Oh, Councillor Mabani, you take us. Councillor Mabani.
Oh, of course, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My problem, Madam Speaker, is here.
Bullet point 3.
Bullet point 3.
Ithi lokubanga bandana le 309 phase 3.
309 in phase 3.
Uzawuthi ukubanga bandana angaqhubeka kujongwe kwi-funds.
If we want to continue, we must check first the funds, availability of the funds.
Madam Speaker, le 309 ibingakhange imali yayo iphume.
Was there no money budgeted for this 309?
Lento phase 3 ezofuneka into bangabandana kulindiwe ukuze aqhubeke kokufunyanwe imali.
Because of phase 3 now must wait till that we get funds so that we can continue with the project.
Uloyiko lwam Speaker, i-309 ifike kudala ilenveli langazelela izindlu.
309 came a long time ago where we need the houses.
So sirhalela into yokuba ngabana siyilenveli kubingaske iqhubekeke le 309 yonke iqhube yakhiwe yonke.
We suggest that the 309 must be built all.
Ngoba xa sijongile Madam Speaker maniphayana elenveli ikhangeleka ingathi kwizinga lezindlu phakuthi siyabethakala kakhulu.
The quality of the houses in Lenton is very poor.
Ndinesicelo endifuna usifaka Madam Speaker, xa kuphinda kuthatha i-tender ndikhani iqaphele uthatha u-local because ezi tender zithathwayo bangaphandle i-construction ziyasibetha.
When you take tenders, I'm requesting that we look locally because these outside tenderers are getting us.
Umzekelo lo yenziwa phaya edamini abantu zange bababhatale and then manje asifuni loba ngabantu bana xa kusenziwa into kuthi kufumane abantu bangaphandle because basiphathele ingxaki kuphele iproject zingaqhubeki enkosi.
The dam project that we hired people of outside and that's giving us a problem. We ask that in future you appoint the people, the local people. Thank you.
Of course, the answer is Director Smith, will you respond? Of course, we'll translate.
Yeah, the full project is budgeted for on page 367. You will see the budget.
We recommendation.
List of outside tenderers is unfortunately that is for supply chain thing. They have to advertise and everyone can go in a tender, so we can't stick for the site. Only local people can get the tender. That's why we go into the tender that this component of the workers must be from.
Council, did you get that? On page 367, you will see the whole 309 was budgeted for. It's just, it will be done in phases, so the 309 will be completed. And the tenders regulations is quite specific. It's a supply chain process which is followed. It's fair and transparent. So when it's not a local, it will be in SBM area, in the West Coast District, or it will be in the Western Cape Province area, a person that will be appointed. And there's nothing that the administration or the municipality can do about it because they follow the regulations. But the project will be completed with a full 309, but it will be done in phases. Chief Whip of the ANC.
Speaker, we understand the issue of the processes of the tenders, but I think the councillor point, we need to get a response from there. Whether, yes, you follow the processes, but the challenge is that our local people appointed by those companies, but at the later stage of the project, those companies run away with their companies. And then the first people that need to be responded now is the councillor, the person who don't have a contract. Must be response to the community. Where is the money? Where is the company? And then now municipality nowhere to be found to say, yes, we've given them a tender, and those people are staying in Joburg. I will assist you community, yes or no. But the answer will be simple. No, we as council have got nothing to do with the company. That's where the issue comes from and say, no, these outside companies, they are not assisting us in terms of the monies of the local. That's a point that I think the council talk about.
Yes, Council, in all the projects currently in the municipality, there are those problems, and unfortunately it has to be dealt with, and unfortunately it happens sometimes because we can't interfere in the process. Councillor Williams, I was wondering, you were very quiet. Tongue in the cheek.
Speaker, let the whole council speak first. Speaker, just to in support of the whole councillor, we have raised this issue. This 309 is coming a very, very long way now. The contractor that was appointed by SBM on site, and I'm going to put it on record today, he brought his own people there, which is foreigners. And I know the law is very clear about the working force. Just for record purposes, Speaker, just yesterday morning, for those who don't know, there was a huge fight on that site, and people were stabbing each other with knives because of foreigners, people from outside that come to work in our area. I've raised this issue before. No one wanted to listen to me. Now things is happening. The police were phoning me yesterday, and I told myself I'm not going to get involved in this. So we as a municipality, we need to summons this contractor to come and see us face to face in order for us to avoid such things happening again. we will have blood on our hands, Speaker, if we don't intervene here. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Williams. Amen. Will respond.
Thank you, Speaker. We are aware of what happened yesterday. We have placed the contractor on terms and we are busy with the process to deal with the specific contractor.
Thank you, Emmett. Can I have then a proposal and a secondment to accept the 116 report? Thank you.
Speaker.
Apologies, sorry.
Afternoon, colleagues. Now, Speaker, just one question of clarity. MM has just now alluded that they are aware of the situation that transpired in Langview. But now the question that I want to ask, is it being handled or what? Because if we are aware, and what action are we going to take against the company that had employed foreigners when we know that we're sitting with over millions of unemployed South Africans and
Councillor Kamani, please sit down. May you please raise your point and quote the relevant section.
Sorry,
Ma'am, we've been, it's relevant, ma'am. We've been discussing this and we've been very patient. That has got no relevance on this item, ma'am, and it's something that can be taken up with the MM in his office, where it can be discussed in detail. I'm not saying it doesn't have validity, but we've had 3 speakers now. This is about the consulting services that we're talking about here, so please can that be taken up after the council meeting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Mayor has raised a point of order on relevance, section 42 of the order rules. And I will accept it. Councillor and the Executive that the Municipal Manager please inform especially the Ward Councillor and the Peer Council side or full council for that matter on the process where you are now so that everybody can be informed. Thank you. Councillors, before I adjourn this meeting, just to remind you, you have confirmed those that has RSVP'd for the session at the Tier Club base. Please be on time. There is also the MVP public process session that is happening in Dauro, so don't forget about that. We will just quickly accept the 2 addendums that was circulated. It is the 2 workshops that we had with all the amendments, and that's a compliance, where we only amended all the compliance regulations to be in line with all the regulations that administrators, specifically the asset department, have to deal with. Can I have a proposal and a secondment for the addendums? Councillor Williams.
Speaker, sorry, nee, Speaker. Ik wil net ietsie vragen, want wat Speaker zo pas gezegd van die demarcation board meeting.
Can we do that after? Can I please have a proposal and secondment? Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Mama Bono. You can ask, the notification was sent to full council. It was also shared on all the ward committee groups, all the WhatsApp groups, because the demarcation board sent a notice to the MM's office to invite all community leaders, traditional leaders, people that have matters to say in communities, because this is just the first round to make us aware of how the process will unfold. Ruthie, you can ask now.
Speaker, with alle respect, ik verstaan dit.
I understand that, Speaker.
Mijn vraag is, daar was een uitnodiging gestuurd vanmorgen, ook voor councillors, voor die security.
Yeah.
There is an invitation that went out tomorrow for security for the councillors.
And in the same time, this meeting of dialogue will also happen. Also for councillors.
Yes.
So that is why I was asking to ask.
You must decide which is more important.
Which is?
The Tier Club is gaat lunch kry.
Dankie Speaker. Die vacation is baie meer belangrik as daai ene Speaker. Dankie.
Thank you, councillors. Thank you, councillors. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.